hope this finds you all well and healthy. I hope that your families are doing well. I hope you're enjoying this time that you have at home. I hope that you're not going stir crazy like I am. This is so odd for me. I am usually one to have 1,000 irons in the fire. I have 1,000 things going on, and this has just been different. It has been so enjoyable, though, but at the same time, it's just odd. So I hope this finds you all well. What I'm going to do today is I'm going to get on here and I'm going to show you the platform of Kahn Academy. I will have to admit for just a second, I have started this video like 4 times now because I always get jumbled up. It's not complex. It's not, okay? I told Jill today, I was like, I always overcomplicate everything, and I don't know why I do that, but I do. So I'm trying to simplify each video I go and try to make it a little bit better. This may be a Tourette's video. Okay, meaning I've got a baby in the background that you probably hear over there, and so I may have to stop, and so if it kind of jumps and you're like, that was kind of weird, then please know I had to pause this video and come back to it for you. So what we're first going to do, I want to show you the cool program I'm using right now. This program is called, if I can get it to switch, this program is called Screencast-O-Matic, right, Screencast-O-Matic. And it's up here too. You just launch the free recorder. You have to download it to your computer or whatever. But then you can record your screen and what you're doing. So let's say maybe you want to give your kids a tutorial over this. You're more than welcome to do that. Anything that's on your screen, if you'll see this box, anything that's in here is what it's doing. So what it's recording. It's just way cool. So what we're going to do today is we're going to go over the program Kahn Academy. If you go from Google, you're just going to type in Kahn Academy. Then from there, you're going to click on Kahn Academy. And then up here in the website, you can see that it's kahnacademy.org. This is what it's going to pop up as. Sometimes it's been popping up with a screen. I think I've logged into it so many times now it's not. But it'll be a screen that says COVID-19, teachers, we're here for you, or something along that line. You can read it and then just exit out of it if you choose to. But it's just saying that this is a platform for teachers to use during this crisis. So we decided to use this program K-12 across the school. I'm hoping that it works for everybody. I'm hoping that we can all make this work. Right now, guys, this is not mandatory of our kids. But we wanted to have something in place just in case, okay? We don't know what the future holds for us. We don't know what's lying ahead of us, but we wanted to have something out there for parents and for students to use and to be working on. I know for my sake, I've had lots of parents reaching out to me asking, and so this is just a great tool to use. It's a great resource. It's a great program. I'm a huge advocate of Kahn Academy. I love it, okay? So if you've never used it before, I encourage you to try it out and see for yourself. You may sign up as a learner and kind of go through something on your own to see how it's going to work, or you may just go ahead and sign up as the teacher and just start assigning away, which is what I did. So again, right now it is not mandatory. Right now we're just getting something out there for our students to use and to have if they choose to utilize it. We know that there's going to be some that don't, okay? And that's okay, but we want to have this out there just in case. We also decided to use this program across the board for several reasons. For one, this is a ready-made program, okay? We don't have to spend hours up at the school making copies. We don't have to put a bunch of stuff into place. We literally just have to do some clicking, and it's already done. All the videos are there. All the lessons are there. All the homework assignments are there. All the quizzes are there. It grades it for us. So really, it's less work for us. Yay! We like that. And then if we decide, if let's say the mandate comes down from the state April 1st, that we're out of school for longer or more extended time or maybe the rest of the year, we don't know. We're not going to know until April 1st. Then we already have something in place. We've kind of already got our ducks in a row. We're already ahead of the game. And that's the whole purpose here. So the next couple of weeks, what we're going to do is we're going to get this set up. We're going to get it in place. We're going to get it working. And then if we have to roll into it for long term, we're already there. So we don't waste another 2 weeks trying to get it set up, okay? So from here, what you're going to do, if you already have a Kahn Academy account, you can go ahead and log in. Some of you may have already chose to use it. If you don't, you're going to sign up. I would suggest if you don't have it as a teacher, to sign up as a teacher. If you have it as a parent, that is fantastic, but I would use it as a teacher. So I'm going to sign up with an email. Okay, let me tell you what I'm going to do so you don't freak out on me. I have literally used my school account and my personal account, and I just goof this video up every time. So next best thing is using my sister's account with my name. She's going to love me for all the spam emails she gets. So what you want to do is you're going to use an email address. This does not have to be the school. I would suggest using your school since this is for the school platform. But put in your email, put in your first and last name, and then create yourself a password. Now, be specific here that you read. It has to be at least 8 characters and should contain a mixture of letters, numbers, and characters. Okay? Go ahead, and what you're going to do is once you have that done, you're going to hit sign up, and it's going to log you in. Okay? Now, you from here do not have to go back to your email and click the link. Eventually, you're going to want to do that, but you don't have to do that right now. Okay? So here we are. Welcome to Kahn Academy. Here comes the confetti. You are set up. Let's get started. Okay, now here's the deal. It's going to pop up with all the courses that are available to us as educators. Okay, this is also one of the only platforms that's available K through 12th grade, which is way cool. And so here's the deal. If I were you at this point, I would not click on any of these. K-12, I would not click on any of these. Because let's say Mr. D, for instance, he's going to have several different things he's going to be clicking. This is not setting up classes, okay? This is setting up just your profile as a teacher. Does that make any sense? So for me, I teach 7th and 8th grade math, but this isn't going to set up a 7th grade class and an 8th grade class. This is just going to say for my portfolio, these are the classes I teach. Unless you want to provide that information, I really wouldn't worry about it. What I would spend the time doing right now is scanning it to see which you do want to use, because this is the curriculum on the program that's available. For me, there's math by grade. There's illustrative math I could use. There is, I could actually go into pre-algebra right here. Honestly, I could use that. I've got Eureka math. So please be cautious in kind of all the different things that are out there. You may also choose to kind of do some research on this first. Like kind of go to Kahn Academy, look at all the different ones that are available, and decide which ones you're going to use. There's arts and humanities, there's computing, there's economics and finance, there's test prep, there's college career, there's ELA through 8th grade, grammar, God, guys, there's SAT prep. There's all kinds of stuff in here that is just great resources for all of us, okay? So this is going to look a little bit different for all of us, okay? So let me just get out of here. So we don't have to click anything on here if we don't choose to, okay? You can literally say my course isn't listed, okay? But I'm not going to do that. All I'm going to do is I'm going to click on my name up here, okay? And I'm going to go to the teacher dashboard. This is kind of my desk in a way. This is your desk and where you're going to be. So I'm just going to get out of this. I'm not going to click anything. I'm going to hit teacher dashboard. Of course, that's what I did. Okay, let's go back again. Let's go to courses. Here's courses. Well, okay, I guess I'm lying. Guess you better click on something that you teach. Okay? For me, that'd be 7th grade. I'm going to click on 7th grade math. I would just click on one. Okay? Now, kindergarten, 1st, 2nd grade, you really don't have many options except for math right here. There is 2nd grade reading and vocab, but kinder and 1st, you're probably just going to do the math portion. And that would probably be plenty of stuff to send home for your kids. You may want to supplement and send home a reading log or something, but as far as online program goes, you may just choose to work on math. So I'm going to click 7th grade for my portfolio. I'm just going to click 1. I'm going to hit continue. Okay, it did create a 7th grade class for me. If I would have clicked more than 1, it would not have done that. It would have just created one class. Okay, so just keep that in mind as you work through this. Okay, so this is the Tourette's part of the video. I had to go get a baby. So, let's say you clicked on something and it created a class, and that's not what you wanted. Ah! We can always delete. We can always re-add. We can do everything. So don't freak out if you click the wrong thing or you wanted to change it, whatever the case may be, okay? So I'm going to show you, let's say you clicked on the wrong thing. I didn't want that. That's not what I wanted, okay? So I'm going to click on it. Okay, name your 7th grade class, okay? But I don't want it, so I'm going to exit out, okay? You go to settings, here it is, and I can simply delete it, okay? So if you clicked on the wrong thing, it created a class you didn't want, you can just delete it and call it good, okay? You don't have to worry about anything like that, okay? I'm going to leave it because this would be something that I would use. So I'm going to go to my class, my 7th grade class. Okay, maybe I want to come back over here to my class name, okay, 7th grade. Maybe I want to change that. So I want to change it to Miss Clemens, 7th grade math. Okay, I want to make it more specific to my students. I'm going to save this. Now this is your class code. For elementary, K1, 2, this won't apply to you, okay? 3 and up, this will. This is a code that your students can use to join. The easiest way I can think about this is like Kahoot. So if you create a Kahoot, the way your kids get into that is by putting in this class code. So you pull it up, you have it set up, they get into it by the class code. So for me, my kids would get into it by this class code, okay? Now, I'll get into more of that later. We're not going to do that right now. So class codes will be there. Oh, he dropped something. Hold on. Okay, there you go. Oh, man. Meltdown City. So, students. Okay? Well, let's stay right here for a second. Guys, I'm learning this too. I just learned this, so please bear with me as I go through this. So, my course. Okay, so for my 7th grade math, the course I have chose for them is 7th grade math. Okay, so if you ever needed to change that, you could change that too. If I want to change it from 7th grade math to pre-algebra, I could do that. Okay, but I'm going to leave mine at 7th grade math. Okay, so I'm going to stay. And then I'm going to come back over and students. Okay, now, I'll be back. Okay, so students, K1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. You are going to have to add your students in, okay? 7th through 12th, our students are already in. You do not have to reinvent that wheel. You don't have to do that. You don't want to do that, okay? K through 6, what you're going to do right here is you're going to add new students, okay? You need to add students to whatever class you just created. So, Holly, if you create a kindergarten, you're going to want to add all your kindergarten students here. Now, Lacey, Shelly, same way. You're going to add your students to your class. You don't have a Google Classroom. You don't do it there. You don't want the link yet. You're going to go to create your students' accounts because they're all brand new to this, okay? So you will create your students' accounts. Let's say the student's name is Chesney Clemens, okay? I chose, when I set these up all the way through high school, to just do first name, last name, okay? If it's a unique first name, last name, okay, it's going to just usually put their first name, last name, and then that's it. If there's already somebody in the system, which my name's already in here, okay, because I used it to play around with this later. So mine is Chesney Clemens 4. Now, Jill was saying, we were talking about it earlier, she said most of the elementary is used to putting, or some of them, first name dot last name. You're more than welcome to do that too. I would be specific in trying to add something that they're already familiar with. Okay, now we are going to mail these home. They're going to have their username, passwords, but I would use something that maybe is familiar to them. Okay, so I'm going to just set mine as first name dot last name. Okay, and then it created a unique username for me. You can't change this. Okay, you can't say, well, I don't like that. I want to do 5. Unless you come back over here and you say Chesney Clemens 19. And maybe all your Clemens are first name dot last name 19. Or maybe they're all first name, last name 2020. Okay, whatever you choose. Okay, so maybe that may be more consistent for you. But if you let the system do it, it's going to find whatever works for them. Okay, and if you can see, this has already changed a little bit. So Then you're just going to keep adding all your students in. I'm going to use my poor sister, Kelly Fish. Okay, back to part 2. So if you use the screencast-o-tastic, it'll only let you record for 15 minutes. So this is part 2 that I'm merging the 2 videos together. So I'm hoping I'm picking up on the other one where it left off. I would add my next student, like Kelly Fish or whatever, and I would hit next. Please know that at this point you can change the passwords. You can choose to do this together as a group. And this is only K6. Remember, K6 is, I'm only talking to you. 7, 12, everything's already done in this aspect, okay? So if you chose, you could go Buffs 1. Maybe that's all your students. You can change those. Maybe you want to leave them specific to whatever the computer generated. That's totally your call, okay? I'm going to go Buffs 1, okay? And here's the deal. When you hit create accounts, once you've got everybody in here, you got all the passwords, I would use whatever they're familiar with using. You hit create accounts. Now, please know that after this is done, this is the only time that you have access to this. This is the only time you have access to this password list, okay, to generate a big list. So please download this. This will download as a Excel document. Please know that when I open this here in just a minute, I'm on my Mac computer and I do not have Excel on my computer, so it's opening up in what they call numbers. It's just another program, but you can see the student name, the username, and the password. Please save this to your computer as an Excel document or a PDF, and please turn this into the office. Okay, turn this into the office. Actually, I would say save it as an Excel document in case we needed to tweak it. Save it and keep a copy and turn a copy into the office. And also, give a copy to your co-teacher if you are co-teaching. So like Shelly and Kendra, Alex and Lashana, you would want to share this. That way, if a kid calls and says, hey, I don't know my password, you have access to that, okay? So save it to your computer and then get a copy to somebody, the somebodies you need to. That way we have access to this. Once your accounts are created, okay, you're going to hit next. You can, sorry, I've got apple flying everywhere. Just eat it. Enter your school zip code 88124. This would be Melrose for me. This would be junior high. I don't teach in other countries. I'm teaching you this on behalf of the school. I comply with the requirements, blah, 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 blah. Here we go. Okay, so here are my students that are in my class. Why did it add me twice? Because when I had to switch the video, that's just what happened. So, okay, so here are the students that are in my class. Please know, kinder through second, I'm going to say that, you can go ahead and assign stuff to the students that are in your class. 7th through 12th. Unless there are students in your class, you cannot assign things, okay? So here's my students, okay? Here's their name, here's their username, okay? I can click on them. Here's some actions I can take. I can remove from the class. I can stop teaching them. I can add to the class. From right here, I can add new students if I forgot somebody. So over here, underneath students, that's where all this is going to have access to. Okay, so let me go. I've got my students in my class, K1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and I go to assign, okay? Once I get in here, I can assign whatever I want to my students. I can go into the units, okay? Mine is broke down into units. These are my Common Core standards, Common Core state standards that I use. I have taught everything except for geometry and statistics. So for me, what I did in 7th grade is I went ahead and assigned, okay, the unit of geometry. That's 77 things to complete in geometry for these kids to complete the unit. I chose to do that because I wanted to have enough stuff for my kids to do if they chose to, and I also wanted to push them if I could. I chose new curriculum because I need my kids to, I would like for my kids to see this before they move on to the next grade level. Okay, I know Miss Montague was talking about going back into stuff and just maybe giving the quizzes over things we have already done, and you could be specific. Maybe you just want to give the unit test. Maybe that's the only thing you want to assign, okay? Then you would assign that. Maybe you want to add the unit test on every one of these instead of adding some numbers. I add the unit test when it comes to numbers. This is totally your call. You decide as the teacher, you're the expert in your classroom, what you want to add, okay? For me, I chose new curriculum. That's my choice. That's what I chose. So I'm assigning statistics and geometry. I'm going to assign 78 things. Now here's the cool thing. I can different questions for each student, or I can do the same question for all students. In teaching junior high, I chose different questions for each student. That way they couldn't as easily share the information as they could if I gave the same question, or they couldn't say, hey, so-and-so, here's my login information, type your answers in and do this for me. I chose that intentionally. Again, here's the class name. Here's all the students I'm applying this to. I chose my due date as April 10th. Right now, that is the Friday after we come back, just to give them some opening time. And I have it assigned at 11 o'clock. You can assign this now. You can save it and assign it later. That's totally your call. I'm going to go ahead and assign all 78 assignments to my kids. So it'll take just a minute. It'll assign them. Okay, so I've assigned 78 things to my kids. Now over here, I can go back in. Oops, I wanted to add something else. You can always go back in and add something else and assign more. You can go in and delete it. Oh, you know what? I've changed my mind. Here's everything I've assigned, but I don't want them doing, let's see. I don't want them to do the circumference review. I just don't think they need that. They don't need to do circumference review. I can go in here and I can delete it. I can delete. I want it to delete that from there. And now that's gone for all my students. Okay? So you can easily delete things, actions. You can edit circumference and rotation. You can edit whatever they're doing when the due date is, specifically for each assignment. If it's like an exercise, if you'll see in here, there's exercises, articles, videos. I can review reports on this once my students have taken it. I can see what they've done. A draw, they have a tab on here they can do. They got some hints that they can use. So there's all kinds of stuff you can do on here, okay? This, over here, if you'll see under assignments, is the scores. This would be, if I got in here and did this, it would show the different scores I got on here. Here's your grade book, okay? So all of that is already listed for you. It is super cool. It is a super easy process to use. Okay, so you can, I would not worry about this course mastery, okay? I would worry more about assignments and assigning this to my kids, okay? That's just what I would stick with, okay? So I'm going to go in, I don't have just 7th grade, I also have 8th grade math, okay? I'm going to come in here, I'm going to click next, I'm going to go 8th grade math, I'm going to click next, I'm going to create my student accounts, okay? So now, this is for those of us that share kids, okay? In a minute. I will get that for you in just a minute. I got a kid screaming at me. So, if you are creating more than one class, okay, this particularly is for 3rd and up. So, Alex, let's say you went in there and you created all the kids for 3rd and 4th grade. You entered them all for your classes. Okay, Lashana, you now are going to use the same kids to create your class. Okay, so in yours, you create a class, but you're not going to re-add the students. You're not going to do this. Because if you re-add the students, you create a new username and a new password, which is not what we want to accomplish. Okay, that would be too many passwords, too many things. I will show you how we will link them here in a minute. So what you're going to do, you created 8th grade math. The kids are already in there, okay? You're just going to exit here. You're not going to add new kids. 7th through 12th grade, this is your step. When you get to this point, you are not going to add new students. This is already done for you, so you exit out. Okay, so in 8th grade math, you will see that I have no students here, okay? Because my students have already been added in the program. They're already in here, okay? So what they have to do is they have to have this class code. And the students would log in and then take this class code to join 8th grade math. Lashana, Alex, Kendra, and Shelly. Kendra, if you entered all the students, Shelly, you would go create your account, you would create your classes, not add students, and then together you're going to create a letter and share the class code that they need to join. Okay? This is where I was saying, you elementary teachers, if you wanted to just create one username and password and not have to have them share codes, you could do that. High school, this is key. We have to have these codes for these kids to join these classes. And I can get more in detail with that, but I'm not going to. High school, 7, 12, do not add students to your rosters. This is already done, and if you do it, it's going to throw everything off, okay? Elementary, you can work through that and decide how you want to, okay? So again, I'm in here. Here's my class. I've got it assigned, but I want to assign something. I want to solve equations to my students. Equations with variables on both sides is what I want to assign, okay? So here's what I'm going to do. I have no students in my class, but here's what I want them to do. I'm going to go ahead and assign it. I'm going to assign it to 8th grade. I have no students to assign it to. I do want different questions, but what happens? Here's the kicker. You can't assign assignments until there are students in your class. So high school, if we go in and give them all these class codes and they don't go in and sign up for it, we can't assign anything until they're signed up, if that makes sense at all, okay? So what you're going to do is save and assign later. This is where you would get on daily, check and see what kids have signed up. So you would go down to students, see which kids have signed up, and you would then be able to go in and assign them things. Just keep you a log of what you do assign. That way you know where it's at. Okay, I'm going to get out of this account for a second, okay, and I want to go into my actual account that I have. Okay, so that was a mock one that I created just to walk you through that process. I want to show you this that I already have set up. Okay, I've already got my kids in here. I've already shared stuff with them. Please ignore this. We were working with the staff this morning. You can see right here in 7th grade I have 30 students. In 8th grade I have 25 students. If I click on 7th grade math right here, this was my class code I used. Here's all my students. Some of the names will look familiar to you. Okay, I'm going to go to progress, or actually I'm going to go to assignments. I'm going to go to scores. Forget this course mastery. I'm going to go to scores. From here, I can see what my students have been working on. I can see what my students have been doing inside this program, and it's so cool. Let's say right here, I wanted to review this report. The student got 100. Fantastic. Great job. You can see that they got everything right. Here was the question they had. They didn't use any of the draw. Here was some hints they had. Okay. The first attempt, they got it right the first time all the way down. That's fantastic. So I can see what the kids see. I can see what questions they got. I can go through here. The other cool thing is these kids can they can they can do it more than once. So if they make a bad score on it, they can do it more than one time. So I'm going to go back here. I'm going to go to create a new class. I maybe want to create 7th grade math New York. Okay, maybe I want to change it up. I can create another class. This is totally your call. Guys, what we need you to do, okay, I've got 1 minute, I'm going to do this. What we need you to do is we need you to get on here. We need you to create your accounts. We need you to set up your classes, and we need to know your class codes, because by Thursday, we're going to be sending out a letter to all the kids and parents about this program and what's available. I know I was kind of jumbled in this. I apologize, but there's kind of an overview of Kahn Academy. Again, I'm a huge advocate. If you will YouTube or Google, you can find just about whatever you need for this program. I think it's going to be very beneficial to our kids and our students. Again, any questions, please feel free to contact me. Reach out to me. Reach out to Jill. We'll help you in any way we can. It's user-friendly. 7th, 12th, do not add students. Don't add students. I can't reiterate that enough. Bye, guys, and good luck.